The honourable member for Richmond.
Mr. Speaker, recently a review paper on modernisation was released by the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. The paper did not consider or discuss policies with respect to owner-operator or fleet separation, which has caused great concern for the Liberal caucus. Mr. Speaker, this omission has alarmed many independent operators in Nova Scotia, and apprehension continues to grow over the federal government's intentions towards these policies. The Liberal caucus asked for an emergency meeting of the Resources Committee on this very issue, and unfortunately the Department of Fisheries and Oceans officials have refused our invitation to appear. My question for the Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture is, what is the government doing to address the concerns fishermen have with the federal government's plan on owner-operator initiatives?
The Honourable Minister of Fisheries.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the question. I don't think it could be any better timing on this. In fact, I think if the record proves, we want to go out and check it, that we were the first elected official to come out forcefully and firmly with the minister on this, that this is the cornerstone. This particular policy, the owner-operator and fleet separation policy, is a cornerstone of the Atlantic fisheries. We understand this, Mr. Speaker, and we took this very forcefully to the Minister of Fisheries. We've asked for more time for consultation, and we're here to protect the communities and make life better for Nova Scotians. Thank you very much.
The honourable member for Richmond on his first supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, fishermen are concerned about the changes to employment insurance, which could have a devastating impact not only on licence holders but on their crew that they rely upon, as well as those who work in fish processing facilities. Speaker, any potential alterations to our lucrative, important fishing industries are alarming. Independent operators in our province are concerned that large corporations may overwhelm our fishing sectors, which could reduce economic development and completely change a way of life for many Nova Scotians. So my question to the Minister is, since becoming Minister, what steps has the Minister taken to support new entrants in buying licences and fishing enterprises?
The Honourable Minister of Fisheries.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and it looks like the member opposite is tossing me some law balls here, because I appreciate this, because since being elected in 2006, I can assure the member opposite that the independent fishermen in Nova Scotia did not have access to capital. That has changed under this government. And also, Mr. Speaker, in his reference to the owner-operator policy and fleet separation policy, there's somewhat of a paper trail on our activity on this, and I just want to table a few documents if I could. The first is from our neighbours to the north, the Maritime Fishermen's Union, who gives great praise to this minister and this government for taking the lead on this particular issue. I'll table that. I'll also table, Mr. Speaker, our federal friends, our NDP friends in Ottawa, who also brought this issue to the floor of the House of Commons. I'll table that for the member to read. And also, Mr. Speaker, coming from a community where the economic engine is the fishery, my own hometown, the municipality of the District of Barrington, is in strong favour of that and encourages the support that I have done, and I will table that. And I thank the member for the question.
The honourable member for Richmond on his final supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, the Minister would be aware that it was actually the previous government that made changes to the Fisheries Loan Board to allow independent operators to access capital to buy fishing licenses and fishing enterprises.
Not true. Oh, not true.
Mr. Speaker, there's no question that all members of this House support the owner-operator principle, but it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to put actions behind it. At the end of the day, we need to ensure that deckhands and others who wish to buy out owners have access to capital and the supports necessary to be able to do that. Changes were made by the previous government, but there is still more that can be done. So my question again to the Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture: what new initiatives has he brought in since becoming Minister that would help Nova Scotians purchase licenses and fishing enterprises here in Nova Scotia?
The Honourable Minister of Fisheries.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I ask the member to listen closely to my answer here. Mr. Speaker, I entered politics at the provincial level at 2006. I campaigned on the issue of making sure that independent fishermen have access to capital. That got the attention of the previous third party right now, and we have achieved that. We will stand up for each community around Nova Scotia, whether you're from Cape Breton or Yarmouth. And I can assure you we stand up for the owner-operator policy, and we are going to be there because we're going to make life better for Nova Scotians. Thank you very much.